Good morning, students. Did you study the previous topic? Do you remember? Yes, I think everyone have studied the topic and you understood also. So we studied about the flame and the different zones of the candle flame. So today we are going to study about the next topic, that is fuel, fuel and the types of fuel. So now the question arises, what is meant by a fuel? Someone asks you what is a fuel, what you will say. So what is a fuel? So here you can see that any substance that burns to produce heat and energy is called fuel. It means whichever substance is providing us heat and energy is known as the fuel. Now you might have seen that fuel is used for the domestic purpose also, and for the industrial purpose also, and also for running the vehicles. So what happens that these fuels can be categorized in three categories depending upon their physical state at room temperature. Physical state only, this you should remember, physical state at room temperature. They are of three types. The first is solid fuels, then liquid fuels, and the gaseous fuels. And for the example, for the solid fuels can be wood, coal, cow dung, cake. Okay. Then liquid fuels will be petrol and diesel. Then gaseous fuels, natural gas and biogas. There are many other examples. So you have to write it in your table in your NCERT book. As you can see in your NCERT book, there is one table given, and there you have to classify solid, liquid and gaseous fuels, and you can give some more examples in it. So you have to complete that table. Now the question arises that is there any fuel which can be considered as ideal? Is there any ideal fuel? So the answer is that there is no ideal fuel. All the fuels may be 99% ideal, but 100% ideal fuel is not available till now. So what happens then? How can we say this is? It can be considered like an ideal fuel. So the main characteristic of the fuel should be there. Is there that first thing, that a good fuel is one which is readily available. It must be available readily, means easily it can be available. Then second thing is that a good fuel should be cheap, or it should have low cost, because it will be very costly, then it is not easy to purchase it. Okay. Then the third thing is that it should not leave any residue. Residue means after burning it, nothing should be left. Like you have seen that in wood or in coal, after when the burning is done, then some residue is left. So it should not be left there. Then only it can be considered as an ideal fuel. Then and then if it should not produce any gases, any harmful gases, because if those gases will be there, it will just pollute the environment. So these are some of the characteristics. And then it should be easy to transport, so that one person can easily transport from one place to the other place. So there are some characteristics. These are some of the characteristics of the ideal fuel. Now the question arises that, as we discussed, that these are different fuels. Now in this, how can we come to know that which fuel will give us more heat and which will give us less heat? So to understand this, there is a term which is known as fuel efficiency. So dear students, now let's come to the next topic, that is known as the fuel efficiency. So suppose you have given 2-3 types of fuels, like one is cow dung cake, the other is coal, then the other is LPG, and you are asked to boil water. So suppose when you are boiling water, then which one you will prefer? You will be preferring the LPG, because it provides more energy, more heat energy. So that's why what happens that different fuels provide different amount of heat energy, and depending upon that there is a different calorific value for them. So how can we define a calorific value? Now the new term comes, which is known as the calorific value, and it is given in your NCERT. From there you can learn it. Okay, so how can we define? That is the amount of heat energy produced. The amount of heat energy produced by the complete combustion of 1 kilogram of the substance is known as the calorific value, and the unit of the calorific value of a fuel is expressed as kilojoule per kilogram. Right? What is kilojoule per kilogram? Okay, so calorific value of some of the fuels is given in your NCERT book. On the table you can see there the least value is for the cow dung cake, that is 6,000 to 8,000 kilojoule per kg, while the highest value is for the hydrogen gas. Okay, that is 1,50,000. So this is about the fuel efficiency and the types of fuel. Now the question comes, we are using the fuel continuously, every day we are using, and it is very urgent requirement for us. So what happens, there are some harmful effects of these fuels on the environment, and especially there are harmful effects of wood, there are harmful effects of coal and petroleum, etc. So now the question arises, what are those effects? So let us discuss about those harmful effects one by one. So the first harmful effect, you maybe have observed that when we burn carbon fuels like wood, charcoal or coal, petroleum, so what happens, they release unburnt carbon particles, and these unburnt carbon particles are dangerous, very dangerous pollutants, causing different respiratory diseases. And these respiratory diseases may be like asthma. You might have heard also that these days asthma is very common, and that is also because of these unburnt carbon particles which are present in the atmosphere, and when we breathe them, we inhale them, and that's why they cause these diseases. Then the second problem is that when we burn these fuels, sometimes there is incomplete combustion. Incomplete combustion means there is less supply of oxygen gas. So in that case, what happens, that they, instead of carbon dioxide, they form carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide is more dangerous than the carbon dioxide. Okay, and that's why you might have heard also from your parents, from your grandmother, grandfather, that we should not keep this burning coal fire in the room, and it should and then after that we will close the room and we will sleep. It is not advised. Okay, so whenever we are sleeping, if any such type of fire is there, we should remove from the room, because otherwise it will form carbon monoxide gas, and it is very harmful. And not only harmful, it is so harmful that sometimes even it causes death. Okay, because it mixes with our blood and it forms the poisonous substance in our blood, and that's why it causes death. Okay, so that it is also one of the harmful effect. Then you all have heard about the global warming. So what happens, that when if incomplete combustion is there, then carbon monoxide is there, it is also harmful. And if carbon dioxide is formed, then also there is an increase in temperature in the atmosphere. And if regularly increase in temperature is there, then one time comes, then the whole this atmosphere is the temperature is very high. So in that condition, what will happen, that the polar glaciers and the polar ice caps, they will start melting, and when they will melt, then what happens, that there will be flood in the coastal areas. That's why you might have heard also that the low-lying coastal areas, they always remain submerged in water. Okay, then the last harmful effect, if you remember, is that when these gases petrol and diesels are burnt. Okay, so what happens, they produce some gases, like they produce sulfur dioxide, they produce nitrogen oxide gas, and when they go to the atmosphere, and then they combine with water or the water vapor present in the atmosphere, and then they combine with them and they produce acid. And then when they produce acid and when it rains, then along with rain these gases combine and they come in the form of acid, which is known as acid rain. Okay, so acid rain is formed due to the combination of sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and even carbon dioxide also. It forms carbonic acid. Sulfur dioxide forms sulfuric acid. Nitrogen oxide forms nitric acid. And carbon dioxide forms carbonic acid. So all these acids, when they come down in the form of rain, then it is known as acid rain. And this acid rain is very harmful for the crops. It is harmful for the crops, it is harmful for the buildings, and even for the soil. You might have heard also that in Taj Mahal, earlier the color of Taj Mahal was different as it is today. These days it is not so white as it was earlier. This is also because of the pollution. This is acid rain. Okay. Then one more important thing is that when we burn any carbon fuel, so what happens, that the gases are produced. So that's why it is said that we should not use such type of fuels that which produce any type of pollutants. But still you can see that in rural areas wood is used, because wood is easily available and it is cheap also. But you know, when we are using wood, then we have to cut the trees, and because of cutting of the trees, lot of deforestation is there. And if deforestation is there, you all know that deforestation is quite harmful for the environment, because the trees which are present in the forest, they absorb the carbon dioxide, and if these trees will be not there, then carbon dioxide level will be increasing, and because of that there will be global warming. So this is all about the harmful effects of the fuels. Okay, so that's why it is advised we should use those fuels which do not produce any gases, or they should not leave any residue. Okay, so your chapter is completed, and in the next turn I will be sending you question answers and the keywords.